What's up, everyone? My name is Manuel.
And I'm Alex.
And we are Mothership Media. We are actually two Dallas locals who just launched our production company, Mothership Media, at the beginning of 2021. Yep. And this is our YouTube channel.
This is it.
Today, what we're looking at is actually a project that we've been sitting on for a few months now. We shot it back in October. It was actually the first time that we ever did anything together at all.
First time we met in person, actually.
So this is just a behind the scenes video that we kind of put together of the photos that I took from that day and the video that he took of everything that was happening. We're just gonna walk through each section of the video here. The full video itself was uploaded to this YouTube channel last week. That will also be in the link in the description. Check that out first if you haven't seen it, but we're gonna run through it right now.
Honestly, we picked like the best day to do this. The weather was so nice.
It was.
It was already kind of late into the day, and originally we didn't even have a plan for what we were gonna do. I think we just went out and said like, let's just shoot something.
Yeah, I think when we originally hit each other up, it was kind of more of like, hey, let's just get together and just see what happens. It's kind of like what you're saying. There was zero plan at all as to, hey, let's get together and you film it behind the scenes and I'll shoot photos. Yeah. It really wasn't that. It was
Which is, it's so fun to do things that way. Like sometimes like there's things that you want to plan, but whenever you're going out and just like shooting just to shoot, I think little preparation actually makes it more of a fun shoot, and it allows you to be a lot more creative at the same time.
This was kind of when we first got there, and we really first just jumped out of the car and we were just kind of like, okay. We didn't really have a set amount of locations we were going to shoot at. We didn't know exactly what we were going to get. It was just kind of all left to chance. And sometimes that's when you get, like Alex was saying, that's when you get the best stuff, because you're not overthinking it. You're just letting it happen. So what you guys are going to see here, the next shot that we're going to look at is actually the second shot in the sequence. But when you watch the video, it's going to be the first shot. Right. It's just a creative edit choice. It flowed a little bit better to edit it this way. So that's what we're going to look at now.
Yep. What was your thought process with this shot?
Yeah, so for this shot, I've always seen that wall when I passed by in Deep Elm. It's kind of one of those that every photographer in Dallas has taken a picture of, but I've always wanted to do it. I've never done it before, so we went to this place, and it's actually kind of funny because when we got there, I think like to the right, there was like a group of like 30 people, and it was all these girls and like 3 dudes. So we were kind of like sectioned off in this little corner of the wall trying to get the shot of Roman. And so we took a few photos, we got the shot, and then this dude came over, and he was a little wrecked. But yeah, he wanted to take a couple photos too, so I snapped a couple of him too, and it kind of worked out. I sent them to him on Instagram, and it was.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. It's just a thing. It's kind of funny how little moments like that work out. You kind of have to be like adaptable, and you have to roll with whatever's coming at you. And I think that's the cool part about. We keep harping on this, but that's the genuinely cool part about not making a plan and just going to a location and rolling with whatever it gives you. Because just out of little things like that, just being at this one spot, we got a few Instagram followers and a repost out of it, which if you don't care about social media, it's not a big deal. But you know, if you're trying to get things moving and trying to make a name for yourself, it's a huge help when you're just walking around advertising yourself. This photo is definitely my least favorite out of all of them. It was kind of one of those that it was just a cool action shot of him. I'm not crazy about the composition, the lighting, or anything like that, but that's okay. I think that's kind of an important thing to remember, is that you're not always going to get 10 out of 10 shots every single time. You're going for the experience. You're going to understand why one of the shots that you put out wasn't the best shot you've ever taken, and what you could do next time to situate yourself to get a better shot out of it. I personally skateboard, and I know how that is when you're kind of ready to throw yourself down something and someone's like, hey, hold up.
You were just there for like moral support.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, yeah, dude, do it.
Yeah, so like I kind of knew it wasn't going to be a great photo, but we kept it because it was just cool. It was a fun moment. It was cool for him because he landed it.
It was a moment for sure.
He kind of like, you know, it was a big deal for him to throw himself down that at the time, so.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think this was like what we were after. Now that I'm thinking about it, this was like a conversation that we had. It's like you said, you had this idea for this shot, at this mural downtown, and I've never been here actually, but this was like the martini shot that we were trying to get.
Yeah.
Everything was leading up to this, basically.
Yeah, this shot was kind of, I've been wanting to get this shot for a long time. And this one, I've always loved this spot. I've always seen photographers take photos here. I've never really seen skateboarding in it. I'm sure that there probably has been, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's always struck me in photos because you just have so many cool elements.
Yeah, dude.
This is definitely, I think, my favorite photo I've ever taken. All the stars kind of just aligned on this one, and it kind of just, it worked.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we encourage you to go out and shoot.
No matter what.
Just shoot. Just do it. Practice. Grab your phone.
Yeah.
You already have it with you. You take it everywhere you go. It's in your pocket.
It's true.
Just snap a picture and just like start practicing with it.
Apple,
sponsor me. While you guys were shooting that shot on the circular sculpture, I noticed that the sun was setting behind us and it was creating like all this really beautiful orange glow on the street and everything around it.
Me and Roman were still up top at the, because this spot is actually right below where the last photo was.
Yeah, it's like in the background of the photo over that wall.
And we were looking for Alex, and we looked over the edge and he was down by the train tracks filming trains. And so Roman just took off and started skating, and I was still standing up on that side, and I noticed that there was kind of like this greenery in the foreground, and then the tracks were just giving your eye a natural curve, and I really liked that. And definitely a lot I would change if we could go back, but still, just as far as composition and stuff, I'm decently happy with it.
You want to talk about the police officer? So
yeah, I guess we can. Like, yeah, I don't really know what happened. I know we were hanging out, we were shooting photos, we were shooting videos, and all of a sudden this cop just came Mach 10 out of nowhere, and we kind of saw him coming, so we just we moved out of the way a little bit. Yeah, and he just John Wicked it. He just pulled the e-brake out of nowhere and hopped out of the car, and he was not hyped, but he was super cool. Once we told him we were leaving, he was fine about it. He said one of the train operators called, but cool.
Yeah, we had a couple trains.
But we got lucky. It was kind of one of those things where, be respectful, walk away. Not a big deal. Yeah. So cool. So at the end of it, after we wrapped up shooting photos and everything, we actually didn't have a plan to keep hanging out or keep shooting, but the rooftop to my apartments is open, and I figured I'd show it to the guys. So we went up there and hung out and shot some more video, and it was kind of cool. You actually had never shot on a Sony before, and I had never shot on a Blackmagic, so we swapped cameras, and it was cool. I had a really good time kind of having my hands on a Blackmagic because I'd seen videos of them forever, and I'm kind of a Sony fan, so I'm a creature of habit. When I have something that I'm comfortable with, I stick with it. So it was really cool to get out of your comfort zone and just kind of play around with something else.
Yeah, likewise. I was blown away actually by the low light on the A7 III that you have. Yeah. For not having any sort of dual ISO, that camera held up super well in low light, and it was super comparable actually to the dual ISO on this camera. All right, so yeah, that was Creative Cultures. Like I said, super fun. I hope we get to do something like this again.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you guys let us know what you want to see in the future. We're going to try and post here as much as possible. Like I said, we did just launch a production company, so we're trying to juggle that. Also keep our social media presence with Instagram and everything like that going as well. But one thing that we really want to get into is we want to get into different video settings, how to match different cameras, kind of the ins and outs of videos that we found when we first started that made a huge difference in the way that we shoot now. So whatever you guys are interested in, whatever you want to see, leave it in there. But as of that, we're out.